So what we're going to talk about today is my favorite way to utilize risk, the percentage of risk. I get these questions all the time. Hey, Raja, what percentage risk should I use towards my trading to make sure that I get optimal gains or to make sure I get long-term gains? So my favorite way has always been to risk 1 to 2% per trade, because at the end of the day, we're all looking to trade and we're all looking to see that, okay, if trading is really going to make us profitable, or is trading is really going to pay the bills, because we all come into this idea, once we start trading, we have to see whether we can be financially independent or not. But we need to step back and we need to ask ourselves, what's the definition of financial independence? Financial independence basically means that all your bills are paid through your hobby. Like trading is a hobby, right? Through hobby, let's say you're trading or you're collecting stamps or you're selling cars or whatever that is, right? So your financial independence, this whole term, comes from the fact that, okay, where is that income coming from, which is going to pay for your mortgage, your phone bills, your internet bills, your car payments, like whatever that is. So for me, in the beginning, it was really, really, really important to start to focus on the small term gains, because in the beginning, I started to risk a lot. I remember when I had a $1,500 account, I would go with like a 1 lot, 1.5 lot, and a $1,500 account, and it was great. Like I would make like $200, I would make $250, $300, and that was all perfectly fine. But the more you risk, the more you can make at the same time, but you can lose at the same time as well, because it was amazing if I could flip $1,500 account to $4,000, and then the next day I just used like a 2 lot or 2.5 lot, and I would lose like $600 or $1,000, and then my account would be back at square one. So it made no sense at all at that time. I really had to flip my mindset to understand, because whenever we start trading, we want to make a lot of money, right? That's absolutely correct. It's very normal. We all think that we want to make a lot of money, but you got to understand this, that the biggest variable in this is time. You have to take time on your side, because time is always going to be on your side. You got to use it to your advantage. Here's what's going to happen, right? So I said to myself, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on 1 to 2% risk, and I'm only going to focus on, let's say if I had a $5,000 account, first of all, you need to have an amount which can generate the certain type of return that's meaningful to you. I know a lot of people, they start with a $100 account, they start with a $500 account, and a lot of you guys, you're going to start with a smaller amount, but that amount is that, like, you can afford way much more than that, because if you start with a $100 account or a $500 account, that 1% gain, that even like 5% gain, like $5, $2, it's not going to mean much to you. Now we have funded accounts and stuff like that. So deposit an amount that's going to mean a lot to you, where you have some sweat in the game, some skin in the game. So I'd go with like a $5,000 account. So if I take my example, this is what I did. I start to look around and I'm like, okay, my monthly bills are around, including my rent, they were around $2,500 to $3,000 a month. What can I do, or how can I position myself in terms of risk to generate that amount slowly, so that all my expenses are paid through Forex? Because that's the only way I'm going to be financially independent. So I had to make up a plan, and this is how my plan went. My plan went something like this, that okay, I'm going to focus on 1 or 2%, and if I have a $5,000 account, I'm going to aim to make $100 a day. And I can guarantee you, everyone who's watching this, you guys can easily make $100, not a day, let's say $100 a month. That's your goal. I think that's a very logical goal for anyone there is. I know there are guys who say, oh, like, what, I can reach my goals in a month, I can reach my goals in like 2 months or 3 months. But what's going to happen after that? Man, there's a very high probability you're gonna basically gonna blow your account. We've seen a lot of guys on our platform, they make some great returns, crazy returns, but then after a few months they're back down to down zero. So you're starting with 1 to 2%. Your aim should be that, okay, can I pay my phone bill with 1% a day? If you're just focusing on 1% a day and your win rate is just 50%, and knowing that you can manage risk, I can guarantee you can pull out $100 a month easily. So your goal should be pulling out $100 a month, and then look to see that, okay, what can you pay off with that $100, right? For me, it worked like this. With the $100, I can pay off my phone bill. Perfect, Raja. Just focus on paying your phone bill from $100. Perfect. Phone bill paid. Maybe 1 month, 2 month, you do $100 a month, $150 a month, $200 a month. And trust me, thinking about 30 days, like we have a 30 days in a month, so we have around 21 trading days. In 21 trading days, it's a long time. Long time, because you're taking one trade a day, you're focusing on $100 a month. Once you do get that, once you pull yourself out of that rut of over trading and over risking, and you get to the point at the end of the month where you're pulling $100 out of your trading account, like legit withdrawal, and you put it towards your phone bill, that hits different. That hits way different than compounding your account, then blowing it all again. No. That's a whole nother story. So once you pull out $100, you put it towards your phone bill, you tell your wife about it. You tell your parents about it. You tell your friends about it. You're like, hey guys, I made this $100 from trading, and then I put this $100 towards my phone bill. This is real. It really works, but like a lot of you guys are not willing to do that because it takes 21 trading days to do that. So let's suppose you're very, very consistent, you're very, very disciplined, and you did $100 the first month, right? The second month, you did $100 again. The third month, you did, let's say, $200, right? Or $250, because now you got, 62 trading days. In 62 trading days, you've built up that momentum of discipline. Once you build that momentum of discipline, nothing can stop you, because no matter what people say in your trading group, no matter what signal there is, no matter what news there is, you are focused with blind sides in your eyes, and you know exactly what you have to do. Your goal is to withdraw $100 a month to pay your phone bill. Maybe by the time you get to the 4th month, or the 5th or 6th month, instead of pulling out $250, you start to pull out like $400, like $500. For me, I went from pulling out $100 the first month to around, I would say maybe like $2,500 by the 8th month. By the time you're getting $2,500 by the 8th month, that $2,500 is going to pay for your rent. It's going to pay for your mortgage. If you don't want to pay your mortgage or rent, it's going to pay for your car payment, your phone bill, your internet bill, your insurance for your home, your insurance for the car, your gas, groceries. That's what it's going to do. And by the 8th month and 9th and 10th month, you start to pull out $3,000 a month. That pays for your rent or mortgage, because every one of us, our biggest bill right now is what? It's rent. It's your mortgage, right? So once you see that, okay, I'm paying my mortgage and rent from trading by the 9th month and the 10th month, things are going to start to change a whole lot faster. And even if you have a side job, or you're working full time or working part time, or you're doing some commission job or sales job on the side, you can start to think to yourself that, hey man, listen, I just pulled out $3,000 or $3,500 in 10 months or 11 months. I can maybe take my job easily now. Maybe I can just calm down at my job, and I can just focus on this. And this focus is going to bring you so much satisfaction, so much fulfillment, because now you're going to say that, okay, you know what? I'm not over trading. I'm not over risking. I'm looking at small, consistent gains. And I can tell you this right now. The reason why the probability of success is so skewed in the losers, towards the loser side, because not a lot of people are going to be able to, be disciplined like that. Because not a lot of people are willing to put in that time to see that, okay, can I really make it in 3 or 4 months? Because if you're not going to be able to do this in 3 to 4 months, and let's face it, you're going to be disciplined the first week, maybe the second week, maybe the third week. By the 4th week, everything blows out of the water. You lose everything. You lose all your gains, and now you're back to square one. You're scared, you're afraid, and that topic is for some other episode. But in the end, what I want to say is make a plan. Make a plan for about 6 to 8 month plan to see that, okay, your goal should be to withdraw $100 a month. Just focus on $100 a month. And man, trust me, $100 is nothing. From $1,000 perspective, from $1,000 account perspective, $2,000 account perspective, even let's say sometimes, $500 account perspective, withdrawing $100 the first month is so easy. So easy. You guys really don't trust yourself enough. The 1 month, $100. Second month. Now the discipline that you build, the momentum you create the first month, that compounds into the second month. Second month, now you aim for, let's say, $150 or $200. The third month, you aim for, let's say, like $250 to $300. By the third month, I can guarantee you this: you're going to start to see profitable patterns that you saw in the first month. All the losses you had on the first month, you're going to be able to identify those losses in the third month, and you're going to say, okay, you know what, I took a loss on this trade in my first month. Maybe now I'm not going to do the same thing again, because I understand that. I realize that because my discipline, the consistency I've been compounding for the last 2 months is taking over, and I'm a more mature trader at this point. But the fourth month, you get to like $400, $500 a month, and that's when things start to change. Everyone starts to see the difference between you, your wife starts to see the difference, or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or whatever that is, your parents, your siblings, and all of a sudden, you're this trader guy who's just printing money from the markets. And if you give it enough time, let's say 4 years, 5 years, now instead of making, $500 a month, you're pulling out $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $25,000 a month. It just takes time. So give it time and make a long-term plan. Long-term plans are where you build your foundations, and on top of these foundations, you build a strong base and a strong structure of financial success from trading. This thing really works. I hope you guys, the best of luck. Take care.